Hey, it's Mr. Malte. We're going to look at Google Earth and walk you through all the features and how to make a tour, how to make a little project on Google Earth. So let's get there. We're going to start just with a new tab. Just Google Earth, press enter, and it's the first one. Google Earth. If it's your first time ever, this step right here might take a little while, so you might want to pause just to make sure everyone can load Google Earth, that it's loaded the entire planet and all its grains of sand. And there you have Google Earth. I like to do a click and drag to move the planet. You can also use your arrow keys. And the first thing I like to do, oh, by the way, yeah, zoom is 2 fingers, little like bunny ears, not snake bite, or using the actual zoom in and out there. So there's the click and drag to move the planet. You can zoom in and out with your 2 fingers. You can use the zoom that's over here. And one of the first things I like to use are the controls on the side. And I start with this one, little dice, little die. I'm feeling lucky. So you click that. Where are you going to go? So this will take you somewhere. Just try it. Should take you around the world. Going to Ireland. And I like this. I like anything with the 3D. If you want to change your angle, just dragging will move you side to side, up and down, but holding down shift and dragging will change your actual angle, which I really like. Holding down shift and the arrow keys down and up also changes your camera angle, helps you zoom around. So try that, hold down shift and using your arrow keys, or holding down shift and dragging. Also great ways to check out that area. Knocknaria, awesome. Then your arrow keys, just like this, allows you to fly, which is pretty awesome. That's not holding anything else. Do that, I'm feeling lucky. Practice just using your shift and drag on your mouse pad, or shift and your arrow keys. Control and your arrow keys also changes your elevation. So there's your camera angle, and then control also changes this. Then the arrow keys to fly. That right there is pretty fun. So take some time, do that, pause it when you're all feeling comfortable and ready to continue. The next little feature is this little ship's wheel, which is the Voyager Tours. Voyager Tours are pretty awesome. They're pre-made tours that allow you to explore parts of the world. Great hikes, time lapse, all these cool things. These change all the time. So maybe I want to check out this one, Safeguarding Parks. You can press explore. This one's done. It'll tell you who it's made by. Conservation International is this one. The little arrows side to side bring you through the steps of the tour. These are the cards that you can actually create. That's what we'll be doing later on, but someone has created this already. So the next little button will take you, see, look at these awesome overlays. These are probably imported from some kind of map, which is pretty cool. Sometimes it's just a place mark, sometimes it's layers over top. So it'll be a variety of different things. So that's just going through a tour. There are some really cool games too. There's Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego under the games. There's all kinds of quizzes and fun activities you can do. Holiday quizzes. These are fun to do. Whoa. Where's Carmen Sandiego? Great stuff, especially if you're from the 80s. So, Voyager Tour, there is I'm Feeling Lucky. And there's the search as well. And you can search for tours. So if I do something residential schools, I can see places, but guided tours, and Canadian Geographic has made a tour. Right. Awesome. And this tour shows you all the residential schools. Crazy. So pre-made tours, really handy. Get out of there. Now, what I really like, And the difference between Google Earth and Maps is our ability to create tours. So we got our search, we got our Voyager Tours, we have our I'm Feeling Lucky, and then we have projects. And this is where I really like this aspect. So projects, I'm going to get rid of this project I had, clear recent projects. Okay, so when you click projects, you'll see that you have the ability to create a project. So let's go ahead, click on projects, let's click on create. Create a project in Google Drive, it saves right to your drive. Yeah. And once you get there, I'm going to title this just Canada. So click on projects, create, and give it a title. It's up to your teacher if you want to have a description. So come on back once you have that step accomplished, and we'll continue. You can do projects, create a project in Google Drive, give it a title. All right, so hopefully you paused, you're ready to rock. Now we're going to add what are called features. That's our everything, all of our layers and everything else. If you ever used My Maps in the past, these layers can be folders that you put in with all of your little features. So I'm going to do a new feature. I'm just going to start by searching for a place. And I'll just do Jasper. And I'm flying to Jasper. It should stop it right here. Now you see these cards. If there's information from Google, which there is about a lot of places, you can just add to project. So try that. Try searching for a place, whether if you're doing it for Canada or whether you're doing something for grade 6 democracy. It could be Athens. It could be whatever your idea is for the project. But I'm just going to do this sort of Alberta, Canada kind of thing and add to project. Done. You can always change. Now I just had a place mark there, which is great. You can change, the angle and things like that. The information is here, so I'm not actually changing this information because it's just fine to keep it as it is. So I have my first location, Jasper. So go ahead, try searching and adding a location to your tour. Now the next thing I want to do is I like to have the satellite view and then get some street view going. So once I'm here, I can check out street view by clicking one time. I don't usually drag. You click one time, it shows all the street view. So there's lots of street view available. And here is Pyramid Mountain, and I'm pretty sure these are going to be, someone has climbed a mountain and added street view to Google Maps, to the street view app. So boom, I got some street view. So explore some street view of the location around where you had your first marker. I like this one. Now to capture something like this, it's a little bit different. So place marks, we did the add to project. This time, we're going to try capture this view. So I found some good street view. I approve. I'm going to press capture this view. Awesome. And it's up to you what you can add pictures. Maybe you want to add a bear. Maybe you can add the trees or elk or whatever else you want to add. This is really dependent on what you're doing your tour on. This is Pyramid Mountain. And this is where you can summarize and put all kinds of information that you have summarized. There we go. I've added my tour. Okay, so as you can see, I have added Pyramid Mountain by pressing capture this view. I think I'm ready for another type of location. So I'm just going to get out and just look at my project. Okay. So I've got two locations. I've got Jasper, and then I've got the street view. I'm going to add another thing. I'll just add a place mark. Maybe this could be a location. I'm just going to add a place mark to Edmonton. Boop. Just like that. So place marks. You can also summarize about any place and add pictures from here. So this is a great way to summarize. There we go. So I've got one that I added to project. I've got one where I pressed capture, and then this third one where I just added a place mark. So that's probably a lot of time right there, just getting those 3 things mastered. And when you're good to go, you have a add to project from a search, you have captured from Street View, and you have added a place mark. Come on back. Now I'm going to add a new feature. This one I really like. I'm going to draw a shape. It could be a line too if it was a path or a trail or anything like that, like trails of how the explorers went somewhere, or how the railroad was built across where it went. Like, those would be some examples where you could do a line. I'm just going to do a shape. So you click, and it gives you the little crosshairs where you can start your drawing. I'm just going to do a quick outline of Alberta. This could be regions. This could be whatever you like. Using my arrow keys to move. There we go. Click, and don't worry about being too precise. You can move any of these anchor points afterwards. Click and click and click. And back to where I started. Boom. And if I want to make any of these more precise, I love this. You can just drag, and anytime you drag an anchor point, did you notice that another anchor point appears in between? So if I grab this one, you see new ones appear, and I can continue dragging and making more anchor points just by simple click and drag, where it makes a new anchor point in between every 2. It's a great feature. There we go. So I've got my Alberta drawn. I could add pictures to this too. Voila. So there's Alberta. So that's going to take some time. Try drawing some shapes. You might want to start with very simple ones before you start tracing something more intense, like a province or a region or any of those sort of things. There we go. All right. A couple other features. One is a full screen slide. So this is more of a presentation type tool. My region. This will give you just a full screen slide in between as you're doing your tour. There we go. This will just be gray for now. I'll show you what that'll look like. Boom. Just a slide. This could be, anywhere that you can move. So once you've created these things, you can always click and drag them to move them up and down. The only other one, another full screen slide. Folders. Folders are useful if you ever want to, this would be like provinces. If, for example, you traced all the provinces, you could then put them all into this one folder by dragging. And then if you want to hide that, you can just hide the entire folder, and everything inside will be hidden. So that's kind of like the layers in the old My Maps. There we go. All right, so there's my tour. I'm just going to show you what the whole thing looks like. Here's my first location. And if I'm thinking, oh, that actually doesn't work very well, I actually want Alberta to be very first thing that I have on here. Boom. Move it up. And now it's going to be very first, so it's going to be Alberta, Jasper, Pyramid Mountain, Edmonton, just like that. If I don't want a folder anymore, delete. Okay, so let's try that again. Present. Alberta, there's my picture, there's where my information would be. There's my little table of contents. Next. Zooming into Jasper. Then jumping down to Street View with my photos and any information that I've summarized. And then jumping to a place marker. So there you go. Very simple tour with different kinds of features that you can add. And each one's going to take some time, so make sure you give it a pause in between and give students a chance to draw the shape, add the place marker, add to project, all those things. just going to really quickly show one more time if I add some Street View, where you can press the capture this view. Got some beautiful Saskatchewan. All right then, and then capture this view. That's going to add it to the tour. So there's your projects in Google Earth. Good luck. Hope you had fun doing that.